So it started with procrastination. And I think it was probably just being overwhelmed, gardening and everything. Not sure. You can call it being, stuck in a hole or, in a wall or whatever you'd like. But you're stuck. And getting out of that hole can be a chore. Funny thing is you don't usually realize you're sliding down into that hole, but you know once you're there. Chances are getting out is going to be a little more difficult than getting into it was. And you might sit there and start thinking about how you got here, how you wish you'd made different choices, or how you wished you'd went a different direction on a project, or maybe you wish you'd started something earlier. You might even sit and wish that maybe you have some ideas floating around in your head there that in your mind's eye look amazing, but you haven't figured out how to translate that to the real world yet. The problem with all that, though, you should look back, try to see what got you into this place, but only as a learning tool. Let it teach you what you did wrong and then move on. Sitting there kind of perpetuates that cycle of procrastination and just not moving forward with what you should be doing. For example, right now we got some of the bags ready a couple weeks ago actually for some planting. Have done nothing since. Weeds are starting to grow up in them. They need to be cleaned out again. I could sit here and think, man, I should have really started that garden. I should have planted all that stuff. But what that does is it starts this cycle of regret, doubt. You got to get past that. Now, how do you get past it? That's going to be different for different people. For some of you, maybe you need to find someone to talk to, maybe even at a professional level. Maybe you need to find someone to give you a hand. To be honest, it's going to be different for all of you. But like I mentioned in a blog we actually did a while back about procrastination, and that, like I said at the time, I just chalked it up to just procrastination. The only way I know to get past it is through action. And I haven't been taking action lately. I've not been tending to the garden. I've not been working towards even some of the cooking goals that we have, sourdough and such. And I haven't been working on building this, sharing our journey with you guys. And to be honest, part of that's just out of fear. You start sharing stuff with people that you don't even know. That's what we do here on social media, is we open up and share with people we've never even met. And we don't want to be judged. And so we start excluding some of the, real stuff. Start kind of just trying to show what we think is good. And I've mentioned this before, it ain't all pretty. It ain't always pretty. But sometimes letting that all build up and build up and build up and trying to keep up with this lifestyle change, let's make no bones about it. It's a lifestyle change. We live in the city. We are afforded all these conveniences. Essentially, we're just consumers, and we're trying to change and reduce the consumption and become producers, creators. But that's not who we've been for years and years and years. So it's a lifestyle change. And again, I can sit here and think back, between, again, trying to make all these changes, and, like my tomatoes, they were all overgrown, and it was chaos. Perhaps it was the stress of all that, combined with limited resources, limited time, you know, uh, getting caught up in, what's going on with the rest of the world. Uh, it's crazy times, and sometimes people just continue to consume all that. It'll start to kind of consume you a bit too. I do think that part of it may have been also what we were consuming online. It's hard to get away from certain things. But again, we should only be trying to figure out maybe what it was just to learn to not do it again. But it's still not something we should be dwelling on. And so it's time to get to action. It's time to start moving forward. If you don't know what direction you need to take, perhaps one of the steps is to step back, reevaluate what it is that you want, reevaluate your course of action. How do you attain that life that you want? And once you get that down, take action. It's time to move forward and start working towards the life that you want. And nobody's going to be able to tell you what that looks like. Only you are going to know what's going to make you happy, what's going to be the life that you feel you're supposed to be living. Nobody else is going to be able to tell you that. Nobody else is actually going to be able to build that for you. Nobody else is going to be able to come in and give you that life. You have to work for it. You have to figure out who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. So, with that being said, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.